You have been lied to, as according to stats and analysis, these are the top 10 best guns you should be using. Switchblade X9 continues being one of the best weapons we can use for playing aggressive. We get fast 213 milliseconds potential tactical in 11 meters range, aiming around chest area, with 25 meters of effective range. Switchblade features fast fire rate, which makes missing shots less punishing, with fast mobility and ADS movement, which helps when playing aggressive, although sprint to fire is on the slow side. 41 bullets in mag allows us to sustain spray for nearly 3 seconds, and we can take on 3 enemies without reloading, and reload speed is fast to keep on pushing enemies and continue playing aggressive. Recall is also pretty easy to manage, and we can no recall with it after some practice. Bullet spread is decent. We cannot challenge long range gunfights, but playing till mid range is fine. Hipfire spread is good, which helps when playing aggressive, as in close range we can hipfire to get kills, and base iron sight is very usable without the need for using red dot. Switchblade does not have any major cons, and all these stats are good for an aggressive weapon. It is a great choice for smaller maps like Summit or when playing inside of a hardpoint, and I recommend this Gunsmith build. Alternatively, we can use MX9 instead, as it is similar in stats and utility compared to Switchblade, but I don't recommend using it since Switchblade is better, and watch MX9 versus Switchblade comparison to know more. Chopper is a solid LMG for run and gun playstyle, which can challenge meta weapons and win against them. We get 16 meters of consistent 240 milliseconds tactical, which is really good as it allows us to defeat aggressive weapons like Switchblade in close range, with infinite 320 milliseconds tactical afterwards, with no bullet speed, which is an advantage as bullet speed would have given us slow tactical at long range. Chopper has fast fire rate compared to other LMGs, and features LMG advantages like high wall penetration and big mag size, which allows us to sustain spray for 8 seconds and do 1 vs 5 2 times without reloading. But it also features LMG disadvantages like slow ADS speed, slow ADS movement, and also slow reload speed. Why we have to be careful to reload in a safe location so we can continue running and gunning and continue building up our streaks. Chopper is considered an aggressive LMG because ADS speed is faster compared to other LMGs like Hoga 26 for example, and hipfire spread is also better while we can hipfire in close range to get kills like inside of a hardpoint, and Chopper is amazing for OBJ players. Bullet spread is good, one of the best for LMGs, and along with the controllable recoil pattern, we can be in even long range gunfights and take advantage of the infinite 5-shot kill range. Chopper has other advantages like disable perk, which will make enemy movement slower and make it easier for us to maintain our aim on them, and getting one of the best iron sight experiences in the game, as we don't have any iron sights and get a clean view of the enemy, which makes concentrating on the enemy easier compared to bad iron sights like Lava for example. Chopper cons can be played around by adapting our playstyle, and Chopper advantages are really good why it gets a mention in top 10 list. I recommend and use this Gunsmith. And now is a good time to leave a like and comment something nice to help support the video. Maddox Assault Rifle is a good weapon choice for playing versatile, as we get 21 meters of consistent 249 milliseconds tactical, which allows us to challenge aggressive weapons and stand a chance at defeating them, with 39 meters of consistent 332 milliseconds tactical. But there is a problem. Unlike Chopper, which does not have bullet speed, Maddox has bullet speed, which will cause a delay to our time to kill. But Maddox also has one of the best bullet speeds in the game, with reinforced barrel. We don't get any delay till 20 meters, but we will have 2 frames delay till 40 meters, which will make our tactical slower by 33 milliseconds at mid-range. 2 frames slow tactical isn't a big deal, and 365 milliseconds tactical is competitive for challenging mid-range gunfights. Maddox has moderate fire rate with good flinch, and pretty standard mobility with ADS movement being similar to guns like Rig 6. 40 bullets in mag is enough for doing 1 vs 3 without reloading, and 1 second reload cancel allows us to get back to fighting quickly. Recall can be troublesome, especially to spray at long range, as the gun has horizontal recoil which is challenging to spray accurately. But bullet spread is amazing and we won't have any issues challenging long range gunfights. Hipfire spread is bad and I recommend ADS in shooting even in close range, and iron sight is decent but red dot is usable if you want, and I use this Gunsmith. If you look at Switchblade or Chopper and the guns which I am yet to cover, you will notice a common pattern. They all all have sound suppression, and sound suppression is important especially at higher lobbies as people react to sound more than what they visually see on their screen. And a lack of sound suppression is a big disadvantage as whenever we shoot, enemies will know of our location due to gun sound being loud on Maddox, and minimap will also reveal our position, which will make enemies hunt us down like a pack of wolves. Why, as an alternative, we can use Peacekeeper if you want sound suppression, and watch Maddox vs Peacekeeper comparison to know more. Fennec is the best aggressive SMG to use this season, full stop. We get 216 milliseconds potential tactical in 16 meters range if we can aim above the waist. The range as well as the hitbox are both an improvement over Switchblade, and we get 30 meters of effective range. Fire rate is faster than Switchblade, making missing shots less punishing, and Fennec has the second fastest fire rate in the game, with high flinch, which is a con as even though the effective range is an improvement over Switchblade, due to flinch we might miss our shots on the enemy and perform worse with Fennec. Mobility is fast as we expect from an aggressive weapon, and we get 40 bullets in mag with 1 second reload cancel. Why, even though we get pretty much the same amount of bullets in mag as Switchblade, with Fennec on average we can take on 2 enemies without reloading, as the fast fire rate also makes us miss more shots if we make mistakes while aiming. Recoil is easy to manage as it is mainly vertical recoil and we can do just pull down very fast to beam with it, but controlling Fennec is quite challenging as recoil goes upwards very fast very quickly. Why, it isn't an easy weapon anyone can pick up and be good at. Hipfire spread is good and Fennec has one of the best hipfire spreads in the game, and Iron Sight is alright, and some use red dot to help aim better. If you have battle pass Fennec, use that as the Iron Sights are much nicer on it. And these are the reasons why even though Fennec is the better aggressive weapon compared to Switchblade, we still see Switchblade being used and ranked as well as in tournaments. But if you can use Fennec well, there isn't a better weapon to use for playing aggressive at the moment, and use this Gunsmith. For more analysis and best Gunsmith builds, you can join our Discord server. However, if you want Fennec to be versed up, or if your playstyle revolves around being flexible, then use M13 instead. We get 272 milliseconds consistent tactical till 26 meters, an improvement over Fennec, and 42 meters effective range, which is an improvement over Maddox. As an advantage, we get sound suppression, but as a disadvantage, M13 has 900 meters per second bullet speed, which will cause delay to time to kill. We get no delay till 15 meters and 3 frames delay till 45 meters. Only 1 frame or 16 milliseconds difference compared to Maddox, which isn't a big deal. M13 has fast fire rate, which makes missing shots less punishing, with fast mobility similar to aggressive weapons like Fennec. And we get 40 bullets in mag, which can take on 2 or 3 enemies without reloading, with fast reload cancel allowing us to play aggressive without any issues. Recoil pattern is easy, but some people find it challenging as recoil goes upwards very fast. It can be beamed with some practice and similar difficulty as Fennec. Bullet spread is amazing and we can use it to challenge long range gunfights. Hipfire spread is not good and I recommend ADS and shooting even in close range. And Iron Sight is decent. Red dot isn't essential but we can use it, otherwise Battle Pass skin has better Iron Sights. I find M13 to be a better Fennec as we can use it for playing aggressive while also being able to challenge long range gunfights when needed. Head glitch fights are easy due to headshots dealing more damage, and if you can get used to recoil pattern, then M13 can defeat every other gun mentioned previously. M13 is that good. Before proceeding with top 5, here are some honorable mentions. These guns could have been part of top 10, but for some reason they failed to make a place. Lapa is an aggressive SMG which we can use as an alternative to Switchblade. We get 258 milliseconds consistent tactical till 18 meters and 35 meters of effective range, which is an improvement over Fennec, but Lapa has 2 cons. It has bullet speed which will make our tactical slower by maximum 3 frames in the effective range, and it has moderate fire rate which is a lot slower than Fennec and slightly slower than Switchblade. There is a third reason. Iron Sight is kind of bad and red dot is essential, why people prefer Switchblade instead of Lapa, and Fennec will be better than both. Mobility is fast as is expected of aggressive SMGs, and it has the fastest reload cancel among all the guns I covered here. Recoil is easy to beam at range, and hipfire spread is good to get kills in close range without needing to ADS. And bullet spread is also decent for challenging mid-range gunfights, while Lapa isn't lacking in any regard. That will make make it significantly worse compared to other aggressive SMGs. But it is also true there are better guns to use instead of Laba. EM2 is another great gun worthy of top 10, and I mention it alongside the DRH. And I won't be covering these stats here as I have an in-depth DRH versus EM2 comparison which you can watch to know more. And this video has become long, so watch the top 5 analysis here. Until next time, bye.